The Neepawa Economic Development hosted its 9th annual What's the Big Idea event on October the 17th at the Neepawa Legion. Launched in 2015, this initiative aims to promote entrepreneurship and the establishment of new businesses in Neepawa. This year, 7 entrepreneurs participated, pitching a diverse array of business ideas, including cleaning services, art lessons, a printing business, a flower shop, and sports products. The event serves as a platform for innovation and community support, fostering local economic growth.
Good morning and welcome to What's the Big Idea 2024. I'm so excited. This is our 9th time doing this event, and I feel like it gets better and better every year. And right now I'm going to invite up Mayor Brian Headley to bring readings.
Thanks, Marilyn. I didn't realize this was the 9th. I think I maybe made it to 5 or 6, but yeah, congratulations. So good morning, everyone. On behalf of the town of Neepawa, the council and staff, I would like to welcome you. Neepawa and surrounding area has a very strong business community that is continually changing and evolving. That is because of people like yourselves who are continually trying to reshape the future of our business and our landscape. In this room, we have a group of individuals, each with unique experiences and backgrounds and expertise. Today, some of you are embarking on your entrepreneurial journey and are taking that leap of faith to come forward with your ideas and vision. We congratulate you and encourage you to follow your dreams. I'm confident that the ideas shared and the connections that are made today will pave the way for an exciting future. I would also like to thank the organizers, Marilyn, and the presenters today for taking time to share your wisdom and expertise with the group. So please enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. This event wouldn't happen without a whole lot of people, and that starts with the entrepreneurs who stepped up today to be here and to get up in front of all of you people to pitch their business idea. So first of all, I want to thank all the entrepreneurs for being here. We also couldn't do it without event sponsors. So our event sponsors today, Town of Neepawa, High Life Foods, who will be bringing us a delicious lunch, Futurepreneur, and RMED, Rural Manitoba Economic Development. Also want to thank all of the award sponsors. That's what brings the entrepreneurs here today, is the money in the envelopes. So we couldn't do it without these sponsors. Community Futures Westman, Stride Credit Union, Town of Neepawa, RM of Rosedale, NADCO, Neepawa Area Development Corporation, Promo Time, Banner and Press, and Provo Signs, who put together a marketing package, Neepawa Chamber of Commerce, RM of Minto-Odana, MNP, Neepawa Lionels, Minnedosa Chamber of Commerce, Town of Minnedosa, and Minnedosa CDC. So all of those groups have provided the money that will be handed out today. So our opening keynote is Jewel and Matthew Kilbacki, who own Kilbacki Ag Supplies. We're going to invite them up to make their presentation.
As Marilyn said, we are Matthew and Joel Kilbacki. We live 2 miles east of Eden with our children, Lily and Ollie. We farm around 1,000 acres, custom plant with 2 planters, and cold weather cab 130 calves. We also own and operate Neepawa Egg Supply here in town. About a month ago, Marilyn asked me if I was interested in sharing points on our business with you folks here today. It seemed like I had forever to prepare, so I eagerly agreed and instantly put planning on the back burner Monday of this week. On Tuesday evening, Matthew checked in with me to see how this planning was going and my preparation, and I stated it wasn't magically coming together, and I'm still pretty terrible at public speaking. So I worked on him a little bit, and yesterday afternoon I convinced him that he should be joining me up here today, because as he was giving me ideas, I thought he just speaks so passionately about how our business started and what we really strive to do. So
in the privacy of our home, I suppose.
So I went to school for agribusiness, and I really failed at this part of it. And Matthew did not go to school, so we agreed.
For the smaller grade.
Yeah, we have to get it up. So we agreed that we're not public speakers, but we'll just speak to you today on, you know, kind of where we started our business. And we're not that long being in town, but we have some points that may be able to, we can talk to you today about. So thank you for joining me here today, Matthew. So our business of Kobaki Ag Supply is located here in town on Highway 5 North. We carry mostly cattle farm related inventory. We stock inventory from 4 different feed companies. We carry an excellent inventory of wrapper plastic, net wrap, silage sheets. We stock lots of farm hardware, bedding supplies, fencing supplies, and we have Tough Duck clothing. We are just finalizing a deal with another clothing brand, so once we get that up and running, we'll be announcing that. So as Matthew is so good at speaking of the history of our business and the startup, I thought I'd let him just take over from here.
Yeah, it happened very naturally, very organically. We had a small farm, or I grew up on a small farm. And it was always a small part of my plan to maybe take over it, but it wasn't big enough to start farming with Dad or both of us make a real living of it. It was a pretty small operation. So I went to Alberta, did that, and realized that wasn't for me. Came home to farm, and I needed something more. So I started doing some custom bale wrapping. We had a wrapper on the farm. It's kind of a niche thing that not a lot of producers have, but like to get custom work done with it. So we ended up kind of taking that to be.
It got big.
It did. It was one of those things. We worked hard. We didn't turn anybody down. I drove to St. Rose to wrap 7 bales and lost $100 doing the job. But I was in no position to turn down work. When you're early in your business, there is no job too small. And that's kind of where it all started, right? We went to Carberry for 5 bales. We went to St. Rose for 7. It was one of those things that wasn't super profitable, but it laid the groundwork for what we are today. And 15 years later, it's really turned into something. So even at that, we went through a lot of farm plastic, a lot of wrapper plastic.
Matthew would be phoning me on the Friday of the long weekend being like, well, I need another pallet of plastic. We just got 1,000 bales booked.
It was very fluctuant with the weather. When the weatherman is good, the weatherman says we've got lots of days of drying weather, everybody cuts their hay, and the weatherman takes a day and says, actually no, it's gonna rain tomorrow. You can't make dry hay in that, so you need a bale wrapper, and a lot of people don't have one. So I didn't need to check the forecast then. My phone would ring and ring and ring and ring and ring, and I'd have all of a sudden nothing to do that weekend, and actually I need plastic for 2,500 bales, and nobody in town has it, nobody in the next town has it, what are we gonna do? So we started stocking our own and found a really good deal. Somebody who stocked a lot and made a really good deal with us to where we could get it at wholesale price, and we were able to sell it cheaper than the local guys that didn't stock much. We were able to stock more than them. That was always an important thing for us in the early stages, was having stock on hand. We gained a lot of customers by having stock when the competition didn't. You get in a habit of buying from the same person, the same thing. You go to this for shoes, you go to here for pants. all of a sudden they don't have pants, you have to look around, you find somebody else that better suits you, right? And that was kind of, we were always those people that answered the phone on a Saturday or Sunday. We had stock on the shelves on days later in the season when other people didn't. And
Yeah, and our supplier really spoiled us with that. He's been doing it for 40 years, started the same way we did, and he just really
gave us very good terms. That was a huge part of where we started, is we could sell the product before we had to pay for it. And it was, he could see something in us that maybe seemed familiar to him, as that's how he started. So he gave us a very good break. And the terms he gave us was
pretty good.
Huge, yeah. Like,
He's
and to be able to sell something before you have to pay for it is hard to beat.
You have to go see Brent, that's pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I didn't stick to the script.
No.
That's speech right there.
Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know where we are.
So Matthew
Where do you want me to go?
Matthew wrapped belts for about 7 years, and then he started phoning me, and then he'd be off wrapping, and I'd be at home with the kids, and somebody would phone for him for wrapper plastic, and he'd say, well, Jules at home, she can load it for you. So the kids and I would go out, and we'd load a pallet of wrapper plastic and have a visit, which was nice because I wasn't going back to work at that time when daycare was $500 a month per kid and your fuel's $500 a month. It just didn't make sense to really go back to work, and we just we had no risk. All we did was we kind of cleaned out a building. We had a good supplier. I was at home with the kids anyway, and you were off wrapping, so
yeah.
We just felt it out to see if there was a market and what we thought we could do with it.
It was very safe. It was very safe growth, very slow, safe.
Yeah, and
natural growth, and I think that's a big part of where we are today. It's just that very not sticking your neck out all the way on a chance. It was more proving it before you own it.
Yeah. So as people started to get used to us having pallets of wrapper plastic, like I think sometimes people would pull in, and it wasn't very many years in, and we would just be ordering semis of plastic, just because hauling 22 pallets of heavy material across Manitoba makes less sense than a semi, just, them unloading it, reloading it, bringing it to us. So people started phoning for net wrap, and then silage sheets, people started phoning for those, and that's another kind of niche market. Like, not a lot of people do that, so it's very particular. People still phone. 2 days ago, the Sunday of the long weekend, of good phone calls at 8:30 in the morning. We got our pile done. Can you cut us a sheet? Yeah, absolutely. When's your Thanksgiving? Well, if I can get out of it, it would be nice if I could. So if you come at 1, that would be great. But just that, always having product, always answering your phone, especially when you're working with folks in ag. I think there's other businesses where that's not so important, but when it comes to some of your ag-related things, always being available.
And even if you're not ag-related, in a community like Neepawa, you are. This is an agriculture community.
You're kind of always selling yourself, I feel
Yeah.
like, too, like being involved in things or being at the rink, and you're just always available and approachable. Does a lot for your business. Still not on script tonight.
I know, that's great.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we got started.
We wanted to get into feed.
We didn't.
One of us wanted to get into feed. But it's a very bulky thing to store. There's 1,000 products that are just that little bit different, and it takes up a lot of room, and we just didn't have that on the farm.
No, as our business grew on the farm, we kind of felt like we were hitting a peak, I guess, for a couple reasons.
Yeah.
For one, we were out of storage. We started with a small shed in our building that was right full of 50 years of material that our farm had kept. So we cleaned that out and we filled it with product, and then, oh my goodness, we're right out again. So we added another couple buildings and to our storage that we cleaned out and used them. And then it kind of got to the point where after we were done calving every year, we'd clean out the barn and clean out the panels, and March would roll in and we'd start getting semi-loads of product. So being on our farm was really safe. We really had no expenses, but there was a lot of work all the time, or filling multiple sheds and using a tiny little warehouse, like,
Moving the same product from here to here to here to here,
Yeah.
running into damage issues, because you can only handle a product so many times before you knock the wheels off the, you've knocked the bottom off your skid or poked a hole in something. So we could see there were some inefficiencies coming with
being
the way we were shuffling everything so much.
Yeah, the farm didn't provide enough space for us as our business grew, because I think our best year on the farm, we sold 5 semi-loads of plastic, direct from factory, plus pallets throughout the year. So, in our little sheds, that's a lot of movement and that sort of thing. So on the farm, we just kind of felt like we were running out of space. The cattle industry, our market was changing as well. Our growth curve was pretty aggressive, starting a business and within 7 years selling multiple semi-loads of plastic, but farmers have gotten more efficient, the way they do things. Some of our customers would come for like 3 different pallets of plastic and wrap all their feed. But now, as we do on our farm, we get a chopper in and we put all that feed into one pile. So now, instead of selling a customer 15 grand worth of product, we were selling them $1,000 worth of product, which is great. It's less plastic being used, it's more efficient, but
It's not great for the guy selling the plastic.
it's not. So, and I mean, that's what we did on our farm. We went from using multiple, you just become more efficient, you make improvements. So you can't really shove that down somebody's throat that they still need to use plastic when you're not using it on your farm. So we lost some of our sales that way. We also lost some sales on our farm because the cattle industry is changing. There's less of them. If people can make grain acres out of cattle acres, they're gonna do it. We do it.
Yeah, we're doing it every year. We're losing.
So
Our own cattle acres are getting cleaned up to farm grain. It's the way it is.
yeah, so we felt that before our business had peaked for a couple of years in a row where it was gonna start losing ground, it could warrant buying a property. It was generating enough cash that we could buy a property in town and move it and expand our product line to start tapping into some other needs of our customers. Really not changing our customers, just providing more.
Yeah, you sell 300 customers one thing, let's carry something else that those 300 customers also buy. You don't need to go, pretty expensive, pretty tough going to find customers, but finding one more thing that you can sell that person you already have in your store, it's kind of an easy sell when you've already got them.
Yeah, so
We needed to start to do that.
we needed to start to do that.
Or the town storefront in town. It wasn't, expanding those ways was gonna be fruitless, I think, to do it out on the farm.
Yeah, the products we had on the farm worked really well for bringing people in. Our business only really ran from May till October. And people would come for a pallet and that would do them for a long time. But we had talked about feed a few times on our farm. We weren't gonna see customers drive out for a bag of chicken feed, right? You can't.
Feed is high volume, low margin. The way feed is, it's thin
Yeah,
and it's a lot. It's a kind of an intimidating thing, but it's now the meat and potatoes of our business.
yeah, it's gone very well. Bringing in feed and bringing in some other things for cattle. Just expanding what you've got and making use of those customers' needs, so. Core values.
Yeah, where were we?
So a few things, this is kind of where Matthew's, he was a big push for Quebec Ag Supply. I ended up managing it more so now than before, but he set up some things that I think really built our business. And one of his biggest pushes when it came to, especially being on the farm, one of your main pushes was pricing. Our pricing had to be good.
Nothing speaks more, I think, when we weren't advertising on the radio, we didn't think that paid. We weren't pulling radio ads, we didn't think, or newspaper ads, that sort of stuff. We didn't think that really, our message would get to 10,000 people and one of them would be maybe relevant, just for how niche and small what we were doing was. So we relied on word of mouth, and I think the biggest word of mouth is the price point. It's you can say you had a good experience, a positive conversation with somebody. You can like a warranty, you can do whatever, but price point is absolutely, I think, the most coffee shop, word of mouth salesman for you, I think, is price. And because we had zero overhead with what we were doing, we could be under everybody and still be profitable. And that is what you wanted from me there? Okay.
We just felt like with our price, we would come into somebody's yard, if we could get one sale, and even still to this day, we'll have a sale and on a farm, and within 5 miles of that customer that we know we got the first sale, everybody's our customer.
Yeah, we have several 5 mile pockets where we have everybody. And then you drive 20 miles and we don't have a customer in there. And then you get this pocket of this customer we got 20 years ago, 15 years ago for like an almost insignificant sale looking back now to where we're at now. But it's this pocket of everybody. And it's those early, now you can sell them on other things. If you've got quality over price, if you've got service over the lack of, if you have all these other things. But to get somebody's first chance, it was always going to be price for us.
Yeah. It just is a kind of easy way to get in the door, and it takes years of building on that, but it works to get a customer, that's for sure. We know our product that we sell very good. We use it on our farm, and that's kind of where the wrapper plastic sales came in. We were just easy to sell. Or if somebody was questioning a product, I'd get them to phone Maddie, we'd talk to them.
I'm standing at the wrapper using the exact product, right? I can walk them through every step of maximizing that product, whereas, no offense to the local co-op or other businesses, but when they get a phone call about the same product that their employee cannot answer, that technical root of the problem, they can't find that answer when it's just so natural to us with the products that we use every day of every year. It's an easy sell when you're passionate about what you're selling, when you know it inside and out, when it's been your life for how many years. It's easy to get ahead of the competition in that.
And I think that goes for all products, right? Like, we even see it just as a consumer going into a place. If they don't really know what they're selling and you have a lot of questions, or you're not sure about what you want to buy, we can do it. We can go to the mall. You can hit 3 different stores. If somebody knows what they're talking about, even if their price is a little bit more, or maybe they don't have it right away, if they know what they're talking about, you want to build a relationship with them. If it's something you're going to be using repeatedly, right? You want to feel confident in what you're doing. If you have a problem with it, you want to be able to phone them and ask them what the problem is. Or, there's sometimes you get a phone call and this isn't working right. Well, and Wrapper Plastic will do it. Well, do you have your rollers cleaned? Well, we've never cleaned our rollers. Maybe you should clean your rollers. Or, like just those things that.
Getting out of product complaints too, like net wrap and balers. This net wrap doesn't work. Your net wrap is garbage. Well, actually, maybe we check this and this first. Oh yeah, no, our baler was the problem. Thanks. And
yeah,
you sell thousands of dollars worth of product to that customer just with a simple knowing, the direct inside of the operation.
Yeah, and I found that like last year was our first year in town. I guess in April it was a year, so I never sold feed before. Well, I started, and gosh, selling feed was pretty hard, but this year I've gotten more used to the product line.
We're using the product line. We had a pretty narrow thing we were using on our farm, a narrow, very tight program that we've expanded to learn, because we've learned better ways for our farm and others.
Yeah, so this year selling feed is a lot easier, right? Because we're using it. I can tell people how we're using it, what time of year to use it. You know, this product's good, this product's very similar and a lot less. You know, you just get used to knowing your product, and this is how we use it on our farm. And did you smell this thing? Like this, it smells like candy, or it smells like this, or, you know, those sorts of things. So just learning your product. And I'm sure as an entrepreneur, everybody here is pretty passionate about, or you probably wouldn't be starting a business doing something. You know your product, you're just confident in what you're selling is very important. We always took the time. I always take the time. I think that there's really no customer too small. Some days that's very time consuming, but
some people would sit in the yard and cry with you for an hour just because that's what they wanted to do that day. I have lots of other stuff to do. I don't need to. Joel will take the time with these customers that just, sometimes they're in a hurry and wanted to come and go, and sometimes they just wanted to sit and.
There was. One day I met a fellow, and he was losing his brother, and he's big. He's a big guy. He runs multiple construction sites. And he sat in our barn and had a big old cry. But that, like, I didn't know what, he came for a little silage sheet and he was having a shit day, but I took the time, and that customer comes back every year.
His neighbors come back.
His neighbors come back, and he spends 10 to 15 grand with us every year. Like, and he drives an hour and a half. So you don't know what your best customer is gonna be. And sometimes those customers turn into big customers, and sometimes they don't. But sometimes they talk to a lot of people. So I think taking the time, if you have the patience for it and the time.
Usually the person that'll sit in your driveway or sit by your shed and want to talk with you will do that at other people's places, right? So if he's sitting there talking with you and has a positive experience, he will convey that at the next place he stops and talks for an hour or two.
Yeah, so that was one thing. We've kind of given everybody equal attention, and it seems to work really well. And it's not that hard to be a good person, although sometimes I'm a little crabby with people, but
One person.
they just you irritate me a lot. There's that. You can't be perfect all the time. With our business, we've always answered our phones pretty much. I would say we miss the odd phone call.
But it's always a call back when it suits it. Communication is key.
That's his rule. I don't think that.
No,
It is important. When it comes to business, it's important.
like our numbers on our Facebook page, our phone numbers on the side of the building are our cell phone numbers. There isn't, and again, that goes back to ag industry being not 9 to 5. Lots of our customers finish a day's work, don't realize it's past 5. It's 9 p.m. when they got in for supper and they start planning their next day or doing whatever. Well, I need this from Quebeckies. They get an answer at 9:30 when they're trying to plan their day and stop in. And I think that's been very important to the way we run our communications. It's just always
Available.
Not saying we're going to run to town for that product at midnight. We always did when it was at the farm because it was out the door. So it was easy to, I'll meet you at the barn in 20 minutes and give you whatever, you know. Mm-hmm. Now we've been a little bit more removed, and that was part of the reason of moving to town, was to free up a little bit of personal space and time, but.
Yeah. We still have a lot of inventory at the farm just because we're not going to say no to anybody with feed related. Like with some of our products.
Yeah, with haying supplies, it's a timing thing. You don't know when you're making that hay. It could be on the weekend or making straw overnight, whatever.
And even, like, we're a little business, but I mean, the competition, they have staff that works in their busy season too, right? Like, we have a lot of big businesses in our town that do an excellent job, right? If it's busy and you need fert, or you need chemical, or you need parts or whatever, they've scheduled their employees to help you all the time too, being an ag community. So we can be a little business and have that little stuff, but I mean, we can't just shut at 5 o'clock because we have to also take care of that big business feel too, right? You always have to be available. Another note on always being available. I feel like, and maybe that's where some of you guys will get into, maybe you're gonna do some trade shows and that sort of thing, but we've been to some as a business. Say you go to, I guess ours would be ag related. I don't know if there's many trade shows for everybody else, but we go to an ag related trade show. It starts at, doesn't matter what time, 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock. There's tables around the whole outside of the building, and there's a supper after. Well, all the businesses, they start packing up their tables at 3 o'clock because they're leaving. I need to be home by 5. What are you doing? Right? Nobody really wants to be there beforehand, I feel like. They have come for supper and visiting. So if you stick around and you pay for your supper ticket and then you stay and you have drinks or you don't, it doesn't really matter. If you find somebody there you can sit and visit with, I feel like that's when your potential customers are going to be more vulnerable. They're probably going to shy away from your table. I mean, how many times does everybody do it? You don't really want to go talk to the table, or maybe you do, but...
Or like an ag days or something. It's tough to make that connection with 3,000 people around and whatever. Not that we've done ag days. We've done it as a consumer, not as a business. But it's too impersonal to make that connection we were trying to do. That deeper connection is made afterwards. It's made standing in line at the food court better than it is at that desk in the whatever. I feel like
I've watched people, the companies paid their money to have them be there, and there's lots of people that show up after they're gone. So I think if you can take the time, you've probably already driven to the event, take it all in, right? Be there for the whole thing. Just don't take off before everybody starts visiting.
I think we got almost everything on that thing.
Okay. We kind of went through why we moved to town. We moved to town for lots of reasons. We spoke about our market had changed. I think our business was going to start to fail. That wasn't really not because we were doing anything wrong, but
We just needed to evolve with an evolving economy.
Market. Something that we see in agriculture talked about and was part of our reason for moving to town was succession planning. So you guys are at the very opposite end of your business. But our business was worth nothing to anybody but us, the way we did it before.
It had hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales. It was quite profitable, but it was nothing. It was an old shed in our yard, which doesn't come with the business if we sell it. It was Jewel
And the kids.
and I'd step in when needed, but like, they don't go with the business. The value of our business was almost nothing, even though it had profit and sales and whatever. But there's no way to value that at anything other than a customer list. Well, you can get that by throwing a couple flyers in farm boxes, and you can get all those customers. You can contact all those customers just the same as we did. So it wasn't. We needed to figure out how to add value to where, if there is a time we want out, if there is maybe somebody looking for the business that we've started, if there's somebody that wants to take it to the next level, we have to add value to it somehow. And that was moving to town.
Yeah.
There's a location, there's no employees, there's a point of sale system. There is a role where somebody could step into Jewel's shoes and the business doesn't sidestep. It doesn't do anything but keep going forwards. And it would, with new eyes, new ambition. It would, like somebody stepping into Jewel, or like into our shoes, it would only go higher. But only because there's an avenue to do that now. Without, when it was on the farm, there was no value to the thing we had built. We had built something that was relevant, but
Not to anybody else.
but it had no value. So moving to town, I think it opens up a door if there is ever an exit that we're looking for, or somebody's looking for an entrance. There is a way to facilitate that now. Where there really wasn't when we were on the farm.
No. And I think you have to be careful too. you might burn out, right? You might need to get out, or you might get sick, or there might be a lot of reasons, right? Where something you've worked really, really hard for, you know, you hope it has some value because maybe that's your retirement plan, maybe that's all of it, but you have to keep it moving forward so you can use it to your advantage.
We've seen lots of businesses that have started, maybe not lots, but just thinking, Waldersee, Mitchell.
Oh, yeah.
He had a great business at Waldersee. People drove a long ways to use his services. Tried to sell it, couldn't do it because he's in Waldersee, Manitoba. There's nobody there looking to do that work, and it is what it is. So I don't know where that came from.
You have to be able to sell your business after. So we didn't want to. Can we have till 10? Okay. One thing I thought that might be pretty relevant with moving to town, and you guys might. No, one more after that. I spent a lot of time last year looking for a POS system. So, I mean, we can do it in various kind of ways. Even in my office today, I manage a group in town, and we send our invoices out with a paper invoice. It works awesome for that. For Matthew's custom planting business, I just use QuickBooks online. Works great. I don't need to track inventory. We don't have an assortment of sales. We really have one product when it comes to custom planting. So that works great for that. The problem was I found with finding a POS system after we moved to town, because we switched from having about 5 products at the farm to having thousands of products and variants, and adding a staff member who can't read my mind on how I, describe something when I built my product code. So he'd be saying, what's this under? Well, if you type in these 3 letters, that'll just pop right up, right? So we needed to find a POS system that worked for us, and that can take a lot of time to do that.
You tried on a lot of shoes before you found the one that fit.
I think I did 5 different trials with different POS systems, right? So the one we found now, it works really well. It costs a decent amount of money every month, but it tracks my inventory. It gives me awesome reports. It has a barcode scanner. It has in-house accounts. It's just got all these things that...
It's online.
It's online. I can, some of our inventory that goes out at the farm, I can print invoices from the farm and get people to sign them if they're not paying here. It just really is, I think that's a very important part, depending on what your business looks like. But if you've got a storefront and a retail, I think figuring out a good POS system is very important for you. It'll make your life...
Pretty important part of a successful business is getting paid, so.
Tracking your inventory,
Yeah.
So. I think some of our business is a little different in the sense where we have, some of those small fine details with some of the clothing and stuff, right? You kind of have to be fast, like a retail store. You want that feel of when you go to the mall or you go to Walmart and you're just beep, 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 and it's fast and it's all tracked and all that. But we do have products that aren't in our store that are in the shed, so we have to figure out how to build the right product and get the right product out and all that sort of stuff. So,
And now that when we'd have, on the farm, we'd have 1 or 2 or 0 or 4 customers a day. Now we can have 5 customers in line at the till, at certain times, right? So keeping that moving, so where somebody that came to buy something gets sick of waiting and puts it down and walks out, which isn't really acceptable. You did all that, you had everything other than collecting that money. So
yeah.
trying to keep that efficient was a big part of it too.
Kind of one of my big things I think that is important in running a retail or any sort of business, and it goes back to the farm as well, is building good relationships. So we have a lot of awesome businesses in Neepawa in our local area, whether it be Stride or MNP. I mean, I send a text and I usually get a response from them right away, or
There is other banks and accounting firms, but they're trash.
No, I mean, sending even a text to Pam, you know, when we were first getting started, hey, does this need PST, or what tax code would you put on this, right? Because we have a lot of that where you have multiple taxes, or what do I need to do for this, or, you know, hey, I need more checks printed because I didn't realize I had none and I need to write them today. And even with the town, right, like phoning or stopping in, or well, last year I just felt like we talked with the building inspectors all the time. So, you know, it's just building good relationships.
Keeping those relationships positive will always serve you in the long run. Having a confrontational conversation with the building code inspector will not serve, whether you agree with them or not, it won't serve you.
Probably not going to look good. But I think that's really important. And I mean, there's so many awesome people in our town, it's easy to do that, right? Like there's good businesses all the time where I'd phone Baker and I'd be like, can I get some gravel? Yeah, okay, so they'd bring some gravel and I'd look at it and be like, can you send a cat to level it for me? Like, you know, because moving to town at the farm, Matthew just graded the yard and I had all the tools from the farm that I'd steal and wouldn't put back. You know, you just take all that for granted. So now you need awesome businesses to work with. And I think, you know, working with them, and they're here, you know, just ask around, and it just works well. You can move so far ahead if you've got good people to call on, or people that can pull you a favor if you need it, because you're going to be busy, you're going to have your business, you're probably going to have your family, you're going to have all these things. And
even the reps, like some of our feed reps, or some of the reps for the stuff we sell, it's having a positive relationship with the representative of the company you're working with is just, it's invaluable. Having somebody that there's tension with in there, just it adds so much unnecessary.
Yeah, I think building a good network is an excellent place to start, because yeah, those people will be there to support you. We don't really have much.
In conclusion.
Sorry if that was a little scattered, but that's kind of how we run our life, I feel like. It's just, you know, you get busy and you try to move ahead and you try to make something that's always moving a little bit ahead or staying steady, but those are just some things that we think with our little business and moving it to town, and some of the reasons we did stuff. That's why we did it. Do you want anybody have a question?
I do.
Okay.
So how many employees do you have now?
So in the store in town, we have one full-time, and then we have a part-time. So,
And
yeah,
on top of Joel, there's those two people.
Yeah, so we used to have, like last year, we moved to town in April, and I thought, okay, we need somebody here all the time. Our hours are 9 to 5. We have to be open those times. It's non-negotiable for me. So we always have one person, and we started where we were getting busier enough. So then I thought, well, we should have two, because our building is really big. And I mean, you're going to the back, or you get a semi, right? So now we have two.
Somebody to unload a semi and watch a storefront at the same time is
It's pretty tricky.
It's not efficient.
Yeah, and it's not professional. So now we have two people there all the time. I'm there a lot of the time, but.
And I just want to talk for a minute about the pitching parlor. The purpose of the pitching parlor is to provide eligible entrepreneurs with funding to help them with their business startup. There is not a single winner of all of the event prizes. Award details and parameters are provided by each award sponsor, and you'll find them on the back of your agenda. The entrepreneurs participating in the pitching parlor understand that they will not necessarily be eligible for all the awards. For example, the town of Minnedosa provides a $1,000 award only for a business that's starting in Minnedosa. Earlier today, each entrepreneur selected a number to determine the order of their pitches. The pitching parlor gives each entrepreneur 10 minutes to present their business idea and 5 minutes for our judges to ask questions and make comments. After all pitches are made, the judges will move into another room to consider the award-winning pitches. The awards are presented this afternoon. At this time, I'd like to introduce our judges. First of all, Alexandre Lavoie from ARMED. Second, Owen Carr from Highlight Foods. And Diane Patterson from Neepawa District Planning. So, without further ado, presentation, let me get my order. Presentation number 1, Poetry in Motion.
Do you want to click or do you want her to advance your slides?
Welcome everyone. I am JJ Cher, the sole proprietor and founder of Poetry in Motion. I am a proud Indigenous Métis Barons River Reserve and Jamaican, Latin American, and Mexican and Spanish descent. I was adopted into my adoptive parents who were Mennonite and German, born and raised in southern Manitoba is where I grew up, and going to school and graduating in 2021 at Mennonite Collegiate Institute in Gretna, as well as doing my grade 11 year at Linden Christian in the city. So what I plan to do is bring some arts education into the rural towns of Manitoba. Growing up, I really wanted to pursue my dance, pursue my gymnastics, as well as my acting career. What me and my mother had to do was drive in from Morden to Winnipeg every single day just for me to be able to compete. Because Morden didn't offer any competition in any of the arts. So that was unfortunate for just Morden as a community, but I was grateful to be able to have gone and pursued my passions. So the services that I am going to offer are my workshops and my camps to start off. This will happen on statutory holidays or the days off school, like early dismissal, which gives an opportunity for kids to have some free time, as well as a time that usually their parents are still working a 9 to 5 that I can babysit them for a while. So all services will be available both in person and virtually. Since graduating in 2021, a COVID year, everything was over Zoom, or we learned virtually. So I'm able to put that to work. At least I learned something and I can put it to use today. So that's a good thing, as well as my piano accompaniment. Also during COVID, I decided to go pursue my levels 3 till 10 of my Royal Conservatory piano exams, specializing in jazz. Not so much the concert and classical, but I'm really a fan of creating my own compositions and reharmonizing songs. So I would love to go on and teach my way. It's a little different because I've gone to multiple teachers in the past, which are mostly concert and classical pianos. So I would love to just bring a different thing into Manitoba because I haven't heard a lot of jazz around here. Then lastly, I would help out fellow people in the musical theater community with their auditions. Auditions in the arts community have completely changed since COVID. Before you would go in and learn your dance in person. COVID was a completely different story, but it literally altered how it is today. Now, you aren't even taught the dance by the choreographer anymore in person. They don't see how you learn. They just send you a video and you have to come prepared. So with that audition, I will provide assistance with my accompanying skills, my sight reading and music. I can drive out, go to their place, help them film an audition, or just mentally prepare for an in-person audition.
So everyone, meet Sarah, a busy working mom juggling her career her kids' schedules, and the endless list of household chores. I'm pretty sure we have lots of Sarahs here in the room right now. And she spends her day racing from meetings to school pickups, barely finding a moment to unwind. When Sarah finally gets home, she's faced with the daunting task of cleaning, a job that after a long day feels nearly impossible. That's where Gentle Bucket comes in. We understand the demands of families like Sarah's who need a helping hand to reclaim their time and then their peace of mind. And that's our big idea. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dave Lynn. I'm one of the owners of Gentle Bucket Inc. Cleaning Services. We're located here in Neepawa, Manitoba, committed to making cleanliness accessible to our community. Our corporation operates with a dedicated team of 7 owners. We are fully compliant with local regulations, holding a payroll account with the Canada Revenue Agency, liability insurance, and workers' compensation coverage. Again, our mission is to deliver personalized cleaning services tailored to the unique needs of both residential and commercial clients. We believe that a clean environment enhances well-being and contributes to a more enjoyable everyday life. Hi everyone, my name is Dave Lynn from Gentle Bucket Cleaning Services. If you need services like residential cleaning, commercial cleaning, and specialized and customized cleaning, we're here for you. We started our business last year in December, and we have clients here in Neepawa and all around Manitoba.
Okay. So why did you participate in this What's the Big Idea event?
So we participated in the What's the Big Idea event is of course for funding. We realized the need for more cleaning equipment and supplies, and also a location for our business because we plan to expand and also service commercial clients.
Okay. So far, how has it been? Like your business now?
So far, so good. We've had a lot of clients around Neepawa. As of now, we have 39 clients, and we have 25 out of the 39 clients. We already have 25 regular clients.
Are they like businesses or individual homes or?
For now, we have all of them are residential clients.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and we have one business that is ongoing. So we've already visited them. We did an on-site visit, and we're giving them the quotation and wish us good luck. I hope we get that commercial business.
Okay, good luck and thank you.
Very busy young boys. For the past 8 years, I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom for our boys. Before I was a mom, I was a florist. I grew up in the flower industry. I was about 10 years old the first time I stepped foot into a flower shop. My aunt owning one, and then my mom purchasing Neepawa florist soon after. I enjoyed being in the flower store, but I got the not so glamorous jobs. I always wanted to play with the flowers, and when I started, I never really stopped. Starting with cut flowers and rose bowls, working to funeral sprays and weddings. I worked for my mom's shop all through high school and even after. I've also been able to work in some awesome shops with some people, friends, learning over the last 20 years. Even after deciding to be a stay-at-home mom, I was still able to help out in the flower shop in Minnedosa whenever I was needed. That relationship made it possible to continue doing my flowers from home. She would order stuff in for me, and I would be able to do them from home, and all that fancy stuff she took care of. I just got the fun part of designing the flowers. Christmas wreaths have been something I've been doing for about 10 years. The last 2 years I've been doing Christmas wreath classes for groups. Seems to be the love doing it, and I like teaching them. I've done a lot of flower arranging for friends, for weddings and funerals in town. I've always wanted to open my own flower shop, but didn't know at what capacity I wanted that to be. With my youngest son now in school, it's been the perfect time to start bringing my dream to life. Flowers on 16 is going to be a home-based business out of my home, which is located about 4.5 miles east of Neepawa. with direct access to Highway 16. Currently, my husband has prepared an area in our basement for me to work on arrangements and the necessary work needed. This will service my needs for starting up my business, and when the space is needed, we will work towards creating a more suitable space. Currently, Neepawa does not have a local flower shop with a florist. Pre-arranged bulk flowers can be purchased at our grocery stores. However, none of them can offer custom designed arrangements. I will be able to provide people in town with more of a personal experience ordering flowers for all of their occasions, weddings to funerals and every holiday routine between. I will be the sole proprietor of Flowers on 16. My intent is to operate solely from our home during the startup phase. Flowers and supplies are purchased from 2 major wholesalers out of Winnipeg. They both can deliver as well as I can pick up. In the future, the goal is to have my prepared arrangements available for quick grab-and-go sales services in a suitable location and business within town. Somewhere I can display arrangements on a regular basis, as well as a bigger display at holidays such as Christmas and when the need would be higher.
This is Nicole Cooper, and I am the sole proprietor for Gold Stitch Designs. In June, the opportunity came forward for me to purchase an existing business called Kimbroidery, which was located and ran out of Minnedosa for 18 successful years. After a lot of thought and pondering, not really, I decided to take a chance, and Gold Stitch Designs was created. I am a small shop that specializes in custom apparel and promotions for businesses, sports teams, organizations, or individuals that just want a really cool, unique design made. I'm located in the RM of Minto-Odana, which is 5 miles south of Minnedosa, and can do everything from embroidery to screen printing, heat transfer vinyl, direct to film, and sublimation. I'm not going to explain what those terms are, but if you guys want to know, come find me later. They're all different methods of getting an image or something onto a garment or a hard good. Unfortunately, to my husband's dismay, the business is based out of our home, which we created an office space from our spare bedroom that houses my computers, printers, cutters, heat press, and embroidery machine. And in the basement, the utility is home to a giant dryer, 4 screen printing press has a cozy home next to the couches and kids' toys. I also forgot to mention that I have 3 busy boys under the age of 6, which is part of the reason why I decided to quit my day job and start a home business. I was hoping for more flexibility and time at home with my littles, and so far I kind of work a little bit more than I did when I had a job, but we'll get there. So in order to purchase the business, which included stock and equipment, I was able to secure a loan with Stride Credit Union in Neepawa. I cannot say enough positive things about my experience dealing with Pam and everything that they did for me to get started. It was literally, met with them one day, owned a business on the following Friday. It was seamless and amazing. I've only been operating since September, but have been able to work within normal business hours, usually, which is Monday to Friday from 8 to 4, or earlier if my kids' schedules need, or they're sick, which is all the time. I do not require permits to operate, and so far for staffing, I have managed to get everything done by myself, aside from my husband, who has been washing my screen printing screens because I make too big of a mess. Joke's on him, I do this on purpose. I'm the real winner. Don't have to do it anymore. So the business in a nutshell, say a business owner, so any one of you that's sitting here today wants to have like custom apparel to show who you are. Wear it to your job, whatever, look professional. You would come to me, we'd go through catalogs, look through samples, see what kind of items you want, and then decide on how you want your logo to be put onto the clothing. So it could be embroidered, it could be screen printed, whatever suits the clothing that you chose or what design kind of look you're going for.
Hi, my name is Nicole Cooper, and I am the owner of Gold Stitch Designs, which is based out of Minnedosa, and it is custom embroidery, screen printing, and any kind of branded, logoed apparel and promotions. And I started in September of this year. I was formerly the town of Neepawa's recreation director for the last 7 years, so kind of took a step out of that and have branched forward into something else, so we'll see how it goes.
So this will be like a full-time for you?
Full-time, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yes,
okay.
so I quit my job with the town and I'm doing this full-time out of my home.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So when did it start?
September of
September
this year.
of this
Yep.
year. So it's really very new.
Really fresh, yeah. Really brand new.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And why did you join this? What's the big idea then?
For this, just to kind of get my name out there and tell people what I do and just kind of gain some followers, that kind of thing, promotion, yeah.
Okay, okay. So far, how has it been, like the business?
Good. So it's good so far.
Yeah.
A lot of learning to do in my first couple of months on how to like run the equipment and stuff like that, but once I get that down, it should be good.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, yeah, thank you.
Mother and a wife. I stand before you not only as a business owner, but as a passionate advocate for creativity and self-expression in our homes. I'm excited to introduce to you my business, Alt Home Decor, located at 39C Main Street South in the charming town of Minnedosa, Manitoba. Now you may be wondering what makes Alt so unique. Well, let me start with the name. Alt is short for alternative, and that's precisely what we specialize in. We offer a broad range of home decor that caters to those who seek something different. For example, while traditional Christmas decor is abundant, finding alternative holiday decor can feel like reaching for a needle in a haystack. As someone who has always preferred alternative aesthetics, I found it challenging to shop for my home outside of Halloween season. This gap in the market inspired me to take the leap and create a space where everyone can find decor that resonates with their individuality. At Alt, we don't just stop at home decor. We are proud to offer a variety of metaphysical tools, clothing, collectibles, and even adult intimacy products. Our mission is to foster a welcoming environment where you can explore and express your unique lifestyle. We want to empower you to create spaces in your home that reflect your true self, no matter the season.
I'm McLean, and my business is Alt Home Decor. We specialize in alternative home decor, and we also carry some clothing, collectibles, and adult intimacy products in our store.
Yeah. So how long have you been existing, your business?
We opened our doors August 1st, 2024.
Oh, okay. So you're really a new business.
Yeah.
So why did you participate in this? Like, what's the big idea then?
I was actually approached by our CDC officer, Sabina, and she just encouraged me she said there was something going on for new businesses, and it was just a way to get my business out there. So it's a little bit less about the grants and just kind of more about meeting other business owners.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how has it been for now, like for the few months that you've been existing?
It's been pretty good. Actually, we've been open for 56 days, and we've had a total of 96 sales in the 56 days.
Oh,
and we have
okay.
an average sale of about $23 per person.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah. And you're located just here in Neepawa?
We are actually in Minnedosa.
In Minnedosa, okay. Just there?
Yeah.
You don't have any, okay. And how many people do you have, or staff that you have?
It's just myself. I rent a space with another business, Valley Love
okay.
Boutique, and herself and me take turns just kind of running the business, so we don't have to hire any staff right now.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, there's only 2 left. So, next up, sniper sauce.
Hello, judges, fellow business people, and guests. My name is Shirley Windross.
And my name's Scott Knight.
We are equal owners of our partnership registered as SS Ventures. We handcraft sniper sauce premium natural hockey wax at our home-based business in south of Minnedosa.
We both have full-time careers, and for the last number of years, Shirley's operated her business, Shirley's Makery, creating a variety of crafts, candles, and her specialty, lotion candles. Knowing this background with waxes, my sister-in-law told us that her kids love hockey stick wax and suggested we should look into making it.
The purpose of hockey stick wax is to protect the tape to help keep ice, snow, and water off the blade. This gives more contact with the puck, which provides you with a better control in puck handling. In our research, we saw an opportunity for a more natural product. Many hockey stick wax companies use paraffin, a chemical byproduct made from petroleum. To get the wax to perform better, they add another petroleum-based chemical called microcrystalline. It took us some time coming up with a name, registering with the province, developing a logo, and applying for a trademark for Sniper Sauce. We chose Sniper for a premier goal-scoring player, and Sauce, referencing a saucer pass in hockey. It also refers to a sauce you can spread on something. In our case, the blade of the hockey stick, which we have catchphrased, got sauce? Our philosophy is to craft Sniper Sauce with the natural ingredients and skin-safe fragrance oils. This is to ensure our product is not only safe on your skin, but also safe for the environment, since the wax gets on the ice, which eventually melts into our water system. We are very specific about the ingredients that we use. These ingredients are tougher to find and carry a higher cost. However, the value comes from how they perform, including being environmental and skin safe. We have partnered with one supplier in Canada and one in the US for our waxes, and 2 Canadian suppliers for our fragrances to ensure consistent supply. A cost-effective mold supplier was tricky to find. We found that one has been able to meet our needs for size, shape, and the ability to add phrases. Part of our business philosophy is promoting an encouraging attitude and positivity. We wanted Sniper Sauce to have phrases that align with hockey and promote this attitude. We developed many formulations before finding one that we were happy with. We had several players, kids, high school, AAA, and former college hockey players test it out for us and give us their feedback. Their feedback affirmed to us that we had crafted a product that not only looks and smells great, but performs great too. Our label design was a fun process with a lot of new learning and dynamic conversations. My brother, he's a great artist, and he helped us bring our concepts to life in our line drawings. We invested dozens of hours learning Adobe Illustrator, digitizing the line drawings, coloring the artwork, and creating text for our labels. Our intent is for our labels to be colorful, fun, and eye-catching.
How long do you think that, like, is I guess as a wax, is a shelf life kind of, just it'll last as long until it wears out kind of thing, or?
Yeah, because it's natural products, it'll last forever. It won't mold, it won't go bad.
Yeah, the reason for that is our primary ingredient is beeswax, and it has microbial qualities to it, and basically will allow it to last for a long, long time, so it doesn't have a spoiling point to it. Good question.
Extremely silly question. In competition, have you looked into like whether it's allowed, whether there's any kind of loophole within there, or
in terms of what?
Well, competition. So everyone's wanting to get the edge, right? So you have spruce back on your hand in baseball.
Oh, I'm sorry. From a rule standpoint in the game, oh yes, yeah, it's allowed. Like if you've ever seen the hockey highlights of the players that do that Michigan move where they pick up the puck with their stick and swing around the goal and throw it in there, that's because they have a lot of wax on their stick that they're allowed to pick up. It's completely legal in terms of games and tournaments, professional hockey teams and NHL and all those types of things.
So no significant difference in the composition between what's allowed in the regular competitive.
Yeah, like primarily what typical wax is made out of in more cases than not is paraffin, because it's easily accessible, it's cheap, and so on. It does the trick, but a lot haven't really, like 20 years ago when this started becoming a trend, it was you grabbed your mom's candle or your grandma's candle from home and you took it to the hockey rink and you rubbed it on your stick, and that's how the whole idea of hockey wax started. So it just kind of evolved from there, and really all that's been out there is this type of option. So we looked into some of the health concerns and risks regarding paraffin and microcrystalline, because they're petroleum-based products. They can cause chemical reactions on skin. There's also some concerns about cancer and other diseases and so on. So we wanted to take that philosophy of producing a natural product. And we bought from a number of the leading companies their waxes so that we could test different formulations of the natural combination and see how it compares. And we were quite happily surprised at how well it stacks up. Yep.
And sir, how long have you been
sort of in business?
Yeah, January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not quite one hockey season.
No. By the time we got ready to sell, it was pretty much the end of the hockey season last year. So it's just really starting to pick up for us. Yeah.
Okay, so your name is?
Melissa Rossnagel, or the Mrs.
Okay, and your company?
The Mrs. Interior Detailing.
Okay, tell us about it.
So I clean vehicles, anything with four wheels. I'll even do boats, airplanes, tractors. We recently did a mice invasion tractor. Here's some before and afters.
How long have you been involved in this?
Since I opened up in January, and I started getting steady business around March, like springtime. So
where are you based?
Riding Mountain.
Okay.
Yeah, just north of Riding Mountain.
Okay. So what is the cost of?
My price list is here, so
Yeah.
full details $200. That includes 5 hours of work. Anything extra over that is $50 an hour. And then I also offer some smaller detailing packages that aren't, so like it doesn't include the shampoo and everything. So just a basic, everything kind of thing. And then with the full detail, I also offer two $50 touch-ups, kind of in between your details to get you through, keep it clean.
So longevity, it's not affected by the weather or rain or anything like that?
I do have an indoor heated shop, so that's all year. I can operate all year. Also, if I'm on site with tractor equipment, I can do it outside, or if you have an indoor shop because our shop doesn't fit tractors inside.
Right.
So I can operate year round.
Is it just yourself, or do you have other employees?
I do have one casual employee. That's my husband, who is also a Red Seal AG tech. So he can help me take apart, if we need to remove the seats, or for that tractor with mice, we had to take apart the whole console, actually. So that was, I wouldn't have been able to do that without him.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're getting close to the end of the day. Before I get into the award presentations, I just want to do one more thank you to all the people that make this day possible. Event sponsors, Town of Neepawa, Highlight Foods, Futurepreneur, and Rural Manitoba Economic Development Corporation, or RMED. Again, to the award sponsors, Community Futures Westman, Stride Credit Union, Town of Neepawa, RM of Rosedale, NADCO, Promotime, Banner Press and Provost Signs, Neepawa Chamber of Commerce, RM of Minto-Odana, MNP, Neepawa Lionels, Minnedosa Chamber of Commerce, Town of Minnedosa, Minnedosa CDC. But more than all of that, I want to thank the entrepreneurs, because without them, this day just doesn't happen. I appreciate all the preparation and the bravery to come up here and stand in front of the crowd and talk about your passion. So thank you to each one of you. Now for the awards. The first award is $300 from Neepawa Lionels for the best pitch for a business located in Neepawa. The winner is Gentle Bucket. Good job. Okay, our next award is a $1,000 marketing package from Promo Time, the Banner and Press, and Provost Signs for a business needing a marketing boost. And our winner today is the Mrs. Interior Detailing. The next award is $500 plus a one-year membership for the Neepawa Chamber of Commerce for a business located in the trade area of Neepawa Chamber. And the winner this year is the Gentle Bucket.
Thank you.
Our next award is $500 plus a one-year membership from the Minnedosa Chamber of Commerce for business in the Minnedosa Chamber trade area. And the winner today is Alt Home Decor. Our next award is $500 from the RM of Minto-Odana for a business benefiting the residents of Minto-Odana. This year's winner is Bold Stitch Designs.
Do we hold hands?
No.
What do we do?
Hold it. Our next award is $1,000 from the RM of Rosedale for a business to be located in the RM of Rosedale. The winner is the Mrs. Interior. The next award is $1,000 from the town of Neepawa for a business to be located in Neepawa. The winner this year is the Gentle Bucket. The next award is $1,000 from the town of Minnedosa for a business located in the town of Minnedosa. And the winner is Alt Home Decor. Wait, John, did you get it? Or the back of my head? Congratulations. Okay, our next award is $1,000 from the Minnedosa CDC for a business in the Minnedosa CDC trade area. And the winner this year is Sniper Sauce. Oh, you're not done? Oh.
Yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you.
So, our next award is $2,000 from the Neepawa Area Development Corporation, or NADCO, for a business in the Neepawa trade area. And the winner is Flowers on 16th.
That big power blazer.
Do you want us to turn, Jeff? Okay.
That's a good husband right there.
Okay. The next award best idea in ag. And the winner is the Mrs. Interior Detail. Okay, so now on to the best pitch of the day. This is a $1,000 award from Community Futures Westman, and the winner is Gentle Bucket.
You do it.
She wants to change in the pictures. Good job? Okay, and our last award of the day is $1,000 from Stride Credit Union for the best overall idea of the day. And that award goes to Sniper Sauce. Don't run. Don't even Uh-oh, don't get in John's way. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for another year. Thank you for everyone who pitched today. I know it takes a lot to prepare, and I appreciate each one of you. So,
Perfect.
thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Big smiles. Okay, so we're speaking to Marilyn Crew, Economic Development Officer for the town of Neepawa.
Hi, John.
Tell us a bit about the 9th anniversary of What's the Big Idea?
So yesterday, October 17th, we held What's the Big Idea at the Neepawa Legion. I had 7 entrepreneurs step forward to pitch, and we gave away $11,300.
What was the proportion of the entrepreneurs in relation to where they came from? There were some from Neepawa and some from Minnedosa.
Yes, so it was a little different this year. I only had 1 pitch from the town of Minnedosa, 1 pitch from the town of Neepawa, and the others were from the rural regions surrounding our communities. You just never know.
No. So 7 was a pretty good number.
Yes, 7 fills the afternoon, but it's not too long for people who are watching all the pitches.
Yeah, just we have the information on here, but tell me a little bit about the judges that were involved.
Yes, so I had 3 judges this year. One was Alexander Lavoie from RMID, Rural Manitoba Economic Development Corp. In Brandon. I had Owen Carr, who works at High Life and wanted to participate in the judging panel, and then Diane Patterson from Neepawa Planning District.
I think we've had Diane before involved.
Involved in Big Idea, but never as a judge.
No.
So that was something different for her.
Yeah, it was some very pertinent questions, and
it's a hot seat for sure to be a judge when you've got some great pitches like we had yesterday.
So, as we mentioned, we've got 9th anniversary. It seems like yesterday that when it was first conceived, you probably don't have any details yet, but you've got big plans for the 10th.
Yes, I'm hoping to do a little bit extra for our 10th edition of What's the Big Idea next year. I haven't looked at the date yet, but it's always the Thursday after Thanksgiving weekend, so we'll figure out what that is. But yeah, I've already started some planning just in my own mind about what I'd like to see for next year. I'm hoping that we could, ask back some of the previous winners to see, how their businesses are doing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's been the plan in the past. Past winners from the year before.
Yes, each year I bring back a couple just to see how they've been doing. But when I look back at my list, I've had 57 businesses pitch in those 9 years. So it will be interesting to see where they are now.
Yeah, excellent. Feedback from the audience or from those that participated?
Yeah, I think the entrepreneurs are always so busy preparing their pitches and figuring out what they're going to do for their display, and then when they come and they realize that there's more to it than just the pitch. The support that we get from the organizations that provide presentations in the morning around business startup and hazards for new business and opportunities that exist for mentorship and support. I think they get a lot more out of it at the end of the day. Also the networking that they do with the other businesses that are at the same point in startup that they are. There's some really good energy that happens between those entrepreneurs that day.
I was very impressed with the presentation from Mark Perrott, the lunch speaker. There was some really good advice and experiences relayed there. So
yes,
I think that was a very good choice.
Yes, I think Mark did a great job as our lunch keynote. He really brought forward his experiences as he has, started out in Neepawa and grown his business into what it's becoming. I think that was some really worthwhile information for my new businesses, but also Matthew and Jewel in the morning talking about Kilbackie Ag Supply and how they've grown from, figuring stuff out for themselves on the farm to actually having a storefront here in Neepawa now.
I was particularly attracted with Mark's comment about an exit plan. That's something you don't normally refer to or think about when you're starting a business, but looking towards the future, I think that was good.
Yes, I agree with you. Like right now when my new businesses are just trying to figure out how to keep their feet under them, but hopefully, they'll hide that away and, think about what their business becomes when they're not a part of it. And Mark explained that very well.
Yeah.
And Kilbackie's also did. They talked about, creating an entity that was sellable for them in the future.
And also the fact that a lot of them have young families and some of them have full-time jobs and how they manage their time and schedule things in with family and that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's not, you don't just run a business, right? You build it into your entire life.
Yeah. Just in conclusion, you must group together a number of people to assist you in preparing this big event.
Yeah, it takes a team for sure. Like from all of the award sponsors that are very supportive year over year for providing the money and prizes that we give away, and the event sponsors that have the opportunity to be there, maybe be a judge and just provide their expertise to my young entrepreneurs. High Life Foods couldn't do it without them providing lunch, and the Legion ladies doing the coffee breaks for me. It takes all of that, plus people from my office, Sabina from Minnedosa, the EDO there. Just it takes everyone to because it's an event planning plus all of the entrepreneurship development. But I think it came together nicely this year.
In the early stages of the event, there was some interest from outlying areas. Do you see it continuing with just Neepawa and Minnedosa cooperating on this, or?
Yeah, I think between Neepawa and Minnedosa, we have a big enough catchment area we've been pretty consistent in the number of entrepreneurs we've been bringing in, and to expand it, for our event to expand, it might become a longer event, and we might be able to support the entrepreneurs maybe a little less if we're stretched. But I am absolutely willing to talk to other communities that want to create their own big idea event, whatever it looks like for them, and so that other communities can find their own way to, to do a pitch parlor or whatever it is to support the entrepreneurs they have in their area.
And in the past, we've shared with Minnedosa or even Carberry a different location, but it seems ideal to have it in Neepawa.
It's been working for sure, but who knows what will happen in the future, but for next year, if we do something a little bigger for the 10th anniversary, we'll have to see what size of facility we need to host something like that.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for all your expertise and your inspiration, and it's a credit to you and the volunteers that put on this wonderful event. And
thank you, John. I enjoy doing it. It's one of my favorite days of the year.
And we look forward to 2025.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.